Hello and welcome to another episode of Toothless MMA's radio series Quick Hitters. I'll be your host, John Galloway, and today, as we look at the world of combat sports, I'll be joined by my guest, Tonya Evinger. Tonya, John Galloway, Toothless MMA, how's it going today?
Good. Just taking a break and from training for a couple hours and going to get back at it. So getting close to fight time. So
it is getting close to fight time. We're looking next weekend coming up. You're going to be fighting Invicta FC8, and you're going to be taking on Idian Gomes. How did this fight come about?
When they called me, I didn't really think I was going to get on one of their cards till the end of the year. I didn't actually know. I think everybody was on the same page. Nobody knew when they were going to throw another card, but I knew that they'd been signing all these girls. I'd been watching them get signed one after the other, and I was like, what the heck, man? How are you going to sign all these girls and not go fight? So, I knew something big was coming up, but they kind of kept the secret real good. So I got a call last minute, and they asked me if I wanted to fight 125, 135, and I said, I really don't care wherever the opportunity's at. So there was opportunity at 135 on this one, and I took it. I didn't really care who it was against. So, I pretty much run my mouth enough that I have to actually fight everybody.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think at this point in your career, there's nothing that anybody can bring that you haven't seen. You fought the biggest names. You fought, just going down the list of some of your opponents, Sarah McMahon, Alexis Davis, Julia Kedzie, Gina Carano. I mean, you fought the names that are out there. So really at this point, do you think there's anything anybody could bring to a match that you haven't seen before?
I think that I'm really an underestimated fighter, and I think that it's never what they surprise me with. It's always what I surprise them with. I think going into every single fight, I'm always supposed to lose, and that's how it's been since day one, since I started. And I don't know if it's because I'm so good looking or because they think I look weak. I don't know. I really don't know what the deal is, but I feel like I train hard and I'm talented enough to beat anybody out there, and as long as I'm there to fight and I have the right frame of mind, I'll beat them. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm ready to bang and get it over with and get that win and move on.
Now, you are coming off of a 4-fight win streak going into this fight. Does that lend to you any additional confidence, any additional pressure, or is it just that this is the next fight and you don't look back, you don't look past it? How exactly do you carry your fight streaks into each match?
I didn't even know I was on some kind of fight streak when I don't have a clue. I never pay attention to anything. I think I also know at my last fight they said that I've never lost in Missouri, which, after I looked at my record, looked who I fought, I'm like, no shit, I haven't. So, I think, I don't know if it's just all my last fights have been in Missouri or what, or if it is lucky. I don't know. I don't really think that far into it. I just, I take every fight as I get it, and usually it's like a last minute, you want to fight? And I'm like, yeah, what are you paying? So, I don't really think that much into it. I just, I know where my mind needs to be, and if I'm training with a good gym and having a good training camp and good support people around me, I usually win. So, that's the most important thing. I don't really think about too much. I'm kind of one of them athletes that just get out there and do it. So.
Well, tell me about the camps and your training. What's your background in MMA? How did you get started in all of this?
Oh shoot! I just wrestled for a long time, and all these people were going over to MMA, and I kind of just jumped on the bandwagon, did my research, and like, damn, I want to fight, I want to do this, and I couldn't find a fight forever, and it kind of went on and on and on until I decided I was going to quit, and then all of a sudden the fights started coming, and I kind of ran with it for 10 years now, so I don't know if. I kind of get really bored of sports, so I have to be competing a lot. As long as I'm competing, I feel great. I train hard. I keep moving, but once the competition stops and you have less and less fights out there, then I feel like nowadays I don't train 24/7 like a lot of these newer girls. I don't do all that. I put my time in already, and I think I'm talented. I think I know a lot, and I've been around a lot, and I've trained at some of the top gyms. And I don't get me wrong, I probably need to train 24/7, but I've always been an elite athlete, so I can just jump in wherever I need to and get on it. I just have a real big thing about getting burnt out. So as long as I'm not getting burnt out, I'll keep at it and keep running with it and see where I can go. But damn, I don't know how long I gotta wait for that title shot. It's been 10 years, man. 10 years. Give it to me.
I was just going to say, now, without looking past the fight that you have coming up, how far away from a title shot do you think you are? What's the...
I thought I was going to get it on this one.
Okay.
I thought this was going to be, I thought beating my last opponent was going to give me a title shot, but, I guess they want to just keep me, make me run through hoops over and over and over. I've been doing this my whole career, so... I never am blessed with that opportunity that some of these girls are getting in there and getting a couple fights, and all of a sudden they get the big opportunity that, that the rest of us put in all our time haven't gotten, So, I don't know. I'm not holding my breath anymore. I'm not waiting for anything, and I'm just going to fight the fights that get thrown at me and keep taking a step forward, and, hopefully I'll get to that big shot that I need, and I'll take it, and I'll be ready, and, I want that big payday. Give me that payday. Give me that car.
That's it.
Can I get a free car, man? Like, what the hell? Everyone gets the Harleys on the last UFC. Like, what the hell? I've never... Shit. I want a Harley.
Now, talk about the... now that Invicta is going to be shown on the UFC Fight Pass, have you, as a fighter and as an Invicta fighter, seen any boost in popularity, any boost in... what they're bringing to you guys in terms of fights, or have you not seen anything there yet?
Are you talking about just on the Invicta side, or
correct?
What they're bringing to tables right now? Hey, you know what? I give big giant props to Invicta and to Shannon Knapp in general. That they've brought more light to the females around the world, and I know they got a lot of criticism just from bringing in so many girls from overseas and shit, and it's to me it's that's cool and all, but I think the competition's really here in the U.S. and I can't really say that I'm biased just because I'm from the U.S. because the competition's here and the top girls are here, and all these girls come over and they're undefeated and they're getting signed with UFC and they're getting signed with Invicta and they're getting signed with all these promotions and they have never fought anybody from over here, and when you get over here it's the deep water, and there's a lot of talent and there's a lot of people that are put their whole lives on the side to train and do this full time. So I think it's great what they're doing, and this is a big step for us, and the fact that they've stuck around and been able to ride the rough water that they've had, I think it's great. That Invicta itself went through so much change this last year, and they've had a lot of drama themselves. So, the fact that we're still treading water and we're moving ahead, and we may not be taking big giant steps, but man, we're getting out there and more people are seeing us, and more girls are coming up, and man, they got so many girls signed and so much new talent out there. It's just great to see, So
now, before you signed to fight for Invicta, had you had any talks with the UFC or any other organizations about fighting for them?
Yeah, I talked to a couple people. I think the WSOF isn't serious about the women, and I think that's a big mistake on their part, and not jumping on the bandwagon right now, especially when UFC is putting such a push into it, And I talked to Legacy, and they wanted me to fight, but it wasn't a contract that I was comfortable with. And same thing with WSOF. If I'm going to sign a multi-fight deal, and it's not going to be for UFC or not for Invicta, then I want to get the payday that I deserve. I'm not going to take 10 steps back in my career and pay and cancel out all that time I put in and all that work I've done just to get on a card. I'll just wait my turn and whatever comes. But with UFC, it's a real weird situation. I keep getting, your next fight, you got to win one more fight. You got to win one more fight. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's Sean Shelby or if it's some other issue in there. And I've hinted out on my Twitter, about about him not liking me or whatever. I just don't understand how all these girls are getting signed, and I'm the top ranked girl that isn't signed with UFC, and they're signing all these girls that have never even fought in UFC, never done anything, haven't fought in the U.S., haven't fought anybody over here, no talent, and they're getting signed. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and I think I deserve at least a shot, at least a fight to get in there and prove that I'm able to compete with all them. And, I don't know if it's a personal problem. I don't know if it's my personality clashes with the way they want to run things or whatnot. But, I definitely feel like the girls coming up, and along with myself, we should be put on there for our talent and for our ability to put on a show and come out there and fight. And you'll never see that from me. I don't back out of fights. I take the ones that are given that are great fights, and I take hard fights that nobody wants to take, and I show up and I fight, and I don't see why there's anything bad you can say about that, but I don't know what the deal is, and I've definitely talked to a lot of different promotions, but Invicta's a good promotion, and they've always done me right. Shannon's always been good to me, so I can't really complain there, and I'll just stick with them and do what I got to do, and she told me come and fight and put a big push into it, and let's try for that title. So, that's what I'm going to go for. And, I feel like if I win that title for Invicta and all that stuff goes down like it's supposed to, then I'll get a better shot in the UFC anyway. So, I take it as it comes, and hopefully it's good and turns out the right way.
Well, let's talk about your fight that you do have coming up. What do you know about your opponent? Where do you see your strengths over her, and how do you see this fight going?
I don't know. I think that just from her interviews and stuff, they think that I hated on the ground, which is absolutely not true. I think that they're going off of just my losses. My losses have all been the submissions, but I take a lot of chances, and I take a lot of short notice fights and stuff like that. So, I definitely don't get my ass beat. You won't ever see that. So, I can stay safe. I can always stay safe and bring what I got to the table. And when I come to fight, I fight. So I think that they're big time underestimating me, and that's going to be a mistake on her part. So, I think that she's going to want to take me down. She probably thinks she can whoop my ass on her feet too, but everybody thinks they can whoop my ass, so it's no big surprise there. So I'm used to all this, and I don't know. I'm gonna just take it. I don't know. I come in with a game plan, but I never actually execute my game plan. I just come in and fight.
So
I'm like, all right, she's good here, she's good there, and it just all goes out the door when I step in the ring and I just fight. So I think you can't really judge anybody nowadays. The game's getting so intense, and people are getting more well-rounded that you gotta just bring it all around, be good everywhere.
Yeah, and now you're fighting. Are you still with Team Quest and Hit Squad right now?
No, I'm out here in Texas. I'm with Gracie Baja.
Oh, okay. So what's the differences that you've seen in this training camp from what you've experienced in previous training camps?
Shoot, I don't know. With Henderson, it was weird because there was a lot of big dudes, so there wasn't nobody really in my way. With Hit Squad, there was quite a few dudes that are similar to my size, but they have me in good shape and stuff. But with this camp, I think that it's just a little bit different. These guys stepped up. I just moved out here to Texas, and these guys stepped up and said, "Hell yeah, come do your camp at our gym, and we'll take care of you." And I went over there, and I meant they have. They put a lot of time into me, and they do all my privates, and they send me to other gyms and to work on my wrestling and to work on my stand-up and to work on this and to work on that. And, it's definitely the kind of camp that I think that every fighter needs. I see a lot of gyms nowadays where you go in and you're just jumping into class, and, that's how I did Urias. I trained Urias for 5 years. I go in there, and it's all pro classes. I mean, you can get your one-on-ones from your Muay Thai coach, but ultimately we're all just in a class, and I think that it really takes these fighters back, and you got to have that coach that gives you that one-on-one, and you got to have that extra attention for you to get ready and for you to game plan, and that's what this sport's about, is, picking your opponent apart and really executing the game plan and doing what you need to do to win. So, I think I'm really comfortable here, and I'll probably stick around here for quite a while. I definitely like this gym and the coaches there and the support there. So, I couldn't ask for a better gym to train at for this fight, that's for sure.
Excellent. Now, going into this fight, there have been companies and people and sponsors that have helped you out along the way. Why don't you take a moment and tell me about some of them?
I definitely got some. I definitely want to thank my gyms. Gracie Baja. I train over at Nogi BJJ with Victor Poses. I do definitely a lot of different stuff. Just getting out and trying to cross train the best I can. And that's pretty much what I've done this whole camp. And these guys have been great by helping me get ready and stuff. My sponsors, shoot, man. I actually dropped my manager, and Fresh Start Entertainment picked me up, and they did a lot of stuff for me, and they brought it, man. He got me sponsors last minute, and this last few weeks, when it's crunch time and I got to be training and stuff. So, the dude put a lot of time and a lot of effort into everything that he's done for me. So, he got me. I've had Tapper Sleep for a long time. It's hard for me to think about these. Unique Kennels, them guys stepped up. Air Loops, Dumachi. Hang on, I gotta actually look through my thing to make sure I don't forget anybody, because that might hurt me on the pay side of it. But the scalper, he's a dude on Twitter that definitely stepped up and helped me. Iron Jaw did my mouthpiece for this one. Ignite, Dudley from Ignite, and he stepped up and helped me out. Align Chiropractic, Made MMA, RJ Contracting, ATP Mechanics. It's a new supplement company out there. They sent me some supplements and had me try them out, and I think they taste horrible, but damn, they're good. They work good. Outlaw Fight Gear stepped up, and just a lot of new companies that helped me out. And one for them, I definitely was able to get this camp together, because it definitely took a lot. So they stepped up and helped me in my camp. So that's the most that needed to be done. I don't really care about the pay at the end of the day, because I get paid for my fight. But during training camp, I think people don't understand how hard and how rough that is. So I can't be more thankful to have you guys on my side. So.
Nice. Now, if people can't get out into the Municipal Auditorium in Missouri on the 6th, and they don't subscribe to Fight Pass, or they can't catch the fight, where can they follow you and catch up with you so they know how your fight went, and also what else you have going on in upcoming fights in the future?
Just my Twitter and my Facebook. It's just my name, Tonya Evinger, and I'm on there all the time. I think everybody else hears about stuff before I do, so I'm sure people know I fight before I even